Okay, so here's a fun topic. Am I a feminist? Inquiring minds wish to know. So, a lot of people call me a feminist, and some even go so far as to call me a feminazi, which I'm not quite fond of in case you haven't caught on to that. So, let's start with this. About 3 or 4 years ago, I had a boyfriend who actually told me that he was more of a feminist than I was because I was referring to someone who was in a sketchy situation where they were harassed sexually or something of that nature. I don't exactly remember. And I said, well, she needs to be aware of her surroundings, which I've slightly changed my view on that. I do think that people should be aware of their surroundings. You know, if you're walking through a dark alleyway, whether you're male or female, you should be looking around and be aware that that's somewhere where you could get mugged. It's not a safe thing to do. However, having said that, people shouldn't rape people, regardless of what the situation is. So I think that both men and women need to be educated on not putting yourself in dangerous situations, or if you are in a sketchy situation, like, at least be aware of your surroundings. And also, of course, the idea of consent, which is if someone doesn't say yes, then the answer is no. And it needs to be an enthusiastic yes, not I feel pressured and I feel uncomfortable and I'm just gonna go along with it because, yeah, that's not cool either. So, the reason why I don't call myself a feminist is primarily because it has a connotation these days where, number one, it has the word feminine in it, so it already seems kind of biased. I am more for equality. I am an anti-activist. I don't believe in circumcision, so I do believe in men's rights too. I don't think that women should feel entitled. You know, I don't think that men should buy you drinks or pay for everything. I'm kind of old-fashioned. I think it's cute when they do, but you shouldn't expect it. And it's totally okay for you to pay for them sometimes. And people say people want to argue, feminists want to argue, that feminism is about equality, and then men will come out, usually men, will come out and say, well, if it was, then you would care about these other things, like the fact that men on average tend to commit suicide at a higher rate. Again, circumcision is one thing. Genital mutilation, literally, that's what it is. And we don't call it that, which we should. The fact that during a divorce, the judge will often side with the woman and let her have custody of the children. And then the man gets stuck paying child support in some situations. Luckily, there are amicable breakups where both parents are mature enough to work it out, and that's awesome when that happens. But that doesn't always happen. And then furthermore,